Presentation and disclosure is just reminding you that revenue has to be disclosed and presented. So there's extensive guidance in your standards. Remember, for disclosure, it is not even worth studying for, but you just need to read the standard and know what's in there. Because you never know where that examiner is going to land. And even if they land, I've never seen a situation where one will have mastered a disclosure, but it will be a simple situation of quickly opening the respective paragraph and say, yes, I know that performance obligation is here. I know that this is here. Let me just quickly refer and see what they want from me. That's how you deal with disclosure. So please read it once or twice. Make sure that you have an idea. It does not need to stick to your mind. It just needs to have an idea. Like if now you ask me, does the standard talk about a performance obligation that it needs to be disclosed? Yes, but what does it want? I don't really know even when I'm sitting here, but I can quickly open the standard and it will direct me accordingly. So that is how you need to manage your time when we deal with what? Presentation and disclosure. Then, where are we sitting? We are sitting with two things that are of interest to us. This concept of a contract asset and of a receivable. So we mentioned it briefly. What is the difference between the two though? A contract asset is that situation when we have performed, but we have what? We have not received the unconditional right to the payment. Whereas when we've got a receivable, there is no condition that we need to fulfill. A conditional right simply means what? We need to do more. A conditional right, we need to still do something else. Unconditional, it means we are done. We have done whatever we needed to do, and we are just waiting for you to pay us. That is what we mean when we deal with an unconditional right to payment. Then the next thing will then be what? Will then be how do you disclose it? You disclose them under current assets, but it just gives a user of the financial statement a better understanding of where you are. That they might consider what? They might consider a receivable to be worth much more because you don't need to do anything else for the money to be paid. Whereas for a contract asset, there's a risk that you might what? You might not be able to fulfill the other conditions, and therefore the payment might not be payable. So that is what the difference helped the user to understand. So that's why the standard created this and wanted it to be shown separately from receivable. Contract liability, it's like a liability. So here, there's alignment. You have received the money, but you've not yet performed. And that's why you've got what? An obligation to either perform or to return the money. That is a contract obligation or a contract liability. And that is revenue. That is IFRS 15.